For centuries, ancient tablets whispered about a terrifying enemy. They named them only with a vague, ominous phrase: the Sea People. These mysterious invaders would become history's greatest unsolved mystery. They came from the water without warning, appearing on dark horizons like a storm made flesh. Where they landed, cities burned, kingdoms broke, and whole populations disappeared, leaving only ash and silence. Before their arrival, the Mediterranean world was rich, connected, and powerful. Trade ships crossed azure waters. Diplomacy and royal marriages linked great civilizations from Egypt to Greece, creating a web of bronze, gold, and grain. Egypt stood strong in the south, its pharaohs commanding vast armies. The Hittites ruled Anatolia with iron discipline. The Mycenaeans dominated the Aegean, their palace fortresses symbols of an age that seemed eternal. Then, around 1200 BCE, that stable world began to collapse. Within a single generation, one of history's greatest disasters unfolded with shocking speed. The Bronze Age was ending. Fortified cities that had stood for generations were suddenly destroyed. Archaeologists still find the evidence today: black burn layers, where thriving urban centers turned into nothing but ash and memory. Palaces fell one after another, as if an invisible chain reaction had begun. Something violent was moving across the Bronze Age world like a plague of fire, and nothing could stop it. Egyptian records describe strange enemy ships and unfamiliar warriors. Their appearance was so unusual that scribes treated them like a threat from beyond the edge of the known world. Pharaoh Ramesses III claimed he faced them in a desperate struggle for Egypt's survival. In his temple inscriptions, carved deep into stone, he wrote that they came from the islands and attacked in overwhelming force. But even now, 3,000 years later, historians cannot answer the simplest question: who exactly were the Sea People? Where had they come from? Why did they destroy everything? They carried bronze weapons and fought with tactics never seen before. To ancient empires, they were not just raiders. They were chaos incarnate, the apocalypse arriving by ship. The mighty Hittite Empire, once one of the greatest powers on Earth, collapsed completely. Its capital burned. Its cities were abandoned. Its voice disappeared from history, leaving only ruins. Trade routes that had functioned for centuries broke apart overnight. Ships that once carried tin, copper, and grain across the Mediterranean stopped sailing. Commerce died. In Greece, Mycenaean strongholds retreated behind their Cyclopean walls in fear. Then they too declined, leaving behind only ruins, legends, and 400 years of darkness. Egypt survived, but only barely. Even its victories feel less like triumph and more like proof of how close the ancient superpower came to annihilation. Ramesses carved his success into temple walls for eternity, desperate to be remembered as victor. But the scale of those carvings suggests panic and a battle for the survival of civilization itself. One inscription makes the danger clear. It says that no land could stand before their arms, a terrifying admission from an empire that considered itself invincible. Modern archaeology reveals something chilling. From site to site, researchers keep finding the same pattern: fire, destruction, abandonment, and sudden collapse. From Greece to Anatolia, from the Levant to Egypt, the map tells one story. This was not a local war. It was a regional apocalypse that reshaped the ancient world. Entire systems failed at once, like dominoes falling. Kingdoms collapsed, trade died, cities emptied, and the Bronze Age ended with a wave of total devastation. And yet the Sea People themselves remain strangely elusive. They appear in the ruins of history with enormous force, then fade back into complete silence. Some historians believe they were refugees displaced by famine or climate change. If so, desperation may have transformed migration into an invasion that destroyed the ancient world. Others argue they were coalitions of pirates, mercenaries, and opportunists. Not one nation, but many shattered peoples moving together through a collapsing world. Whoever they were, they helped reshape history forever. After bringing down empires that had lasted centuries, The sea people vanished as mysteriously as they arrived, leaving only questions behind.